Yes, yes, yes. It's the Raphael Dawkins with the Combat Radio. And this is the morning after the night before. Okay, so what are we talking about? We're talking about, where do we go? We go there first or there first? Why don't we go here first? Okay, so those who follow the channel will know that I covered the Jamel Herring versus, what's his name, Jonathan Oquendo last night, well, this morning for us here in the UK. Okay, and it was a very interesting fight. In the third round, Oquendo got dropped by a beautiful uppercut. However, that was in the third round. In the fifth round, there was a headbutt. Well, as a matter of fact, rat-tat-tat-tat, there were a number of headbutts, but in the fifth round, you see the exact moment when Jonathan Oquendo headbutted Jamel Herring in the eye. Was it accidental? No, I don't think so. Oquendo was going in head first, much like Billy Goat Horn down there in Australia, head first. But my problem with this, well, should I get into that right now? No, not really. I'll get into that later. Where are we? Okay, so I think this was the end of the fight. I think it was the end of the 10th round when ultimately Jamel Herring said that he couldn't see. Bear in mind the cut happened in the 5th round. Right or wrong, there is a feeling that Herring quit. Now, did he quit? Did he not quit? Well, I guess only Herring knows. But immediately after the fight, it was a question on everyone's mind. Everyone's mind. Did he quit? Did he not quit? Did he quit? Did he not quit? Even the commentators. What's that guy called? Timothy Bradley? Timothy Bradley pretty much said in the commentators' booth that Herring pretty much damn well quit. Wow, you're just speaking his mind, speaking what he thought, and you're speaking what a lot of other people thought. I'm still mulling it over. Did he quit? Did he not quit? Did he quit? Did he not quit? If you want to get my full opinion on that, go check out the fight commentary. If you're a subscriber, you'll see it. If you're not, you probably won't because YouTube are withholding my shizzle. But that's a different story. Okay, so, and the only problem is the cut happened in the 5th, and he could see then, and it didn't appear to worsen. But Jamel Herring said, I can't see in the 10th. Now the problem is that Oquendo had started to pick up rounds at that stage. And the in-house commentary team had Oquendo winning the last 3 rounds. And that's what's led to the question, did he quit? Because surely he knew, once he said that he couldn't see no more, that the fight would be called off. And that's exactly what happened. The fight was called off, and that led to the debate, the questions. Your eye didn't close, but you said you couldn't see. Okay, it's a blood in the eye. Fair enough. Fair enough. So does Herring have an argument? Of course he has an argument. The eye didn't close, but there was blood running down the eye, and the cut was as a result of a headbutt, which was deemed by the referee as intentional, and I think that was a fair call. But there's so much, there's so much more to this. There's so many twists and turns. The referee took 1 point away for the cut in round 5. But the problem is that according to the unified rules, and I should have pulled them up right now, the problem is that according to the unified rules, the referee should have took 2 points away. That's one of the problems. And then when it came to the end of the fight, in the 10th, at the end of the 10th, when Herring made it known that he couldn't see, the question is, some people have raised the point, well, should there not have been warnings? Should there not have been warnings to Oquendo? But how could there be warnings to Oquendo when Jamel Herring just made it known. It was not like he said he can partially see and now he can see less. He just said, I can't see anymore. So I don't know how the referee could have given Oquendo warnings. I don't know how that works. Maybe somebody can clarify that for me. Okay, so a lot of questions, speculations. I guess I could play that video, but then, it could run into problems. So, where do we go from here? Okay, let's go to the final piece of the jigsaw. Okay, so a tweet from Jamel Herring. Says, sitting in a hospital alone. Let's highlight this. Let's do the scroller. Sitting in a hospital alone while being called out with all sorts of negativity is something else. I'm not angry. I'm not sad. Just deep in thought. I will still fulfill my obligations against Frampton. But that fight may be my last. Lost too much time for my family as it is. Okay, so my problem with this statement is, firstly, it must have been sad sitting in the hospital alone. Couldn't you get somebody to go with you? Couldn't you get somebody to go with you? Did no one volunteer? But that's not the most troubling part. What perhaps is the most troubling part to me is where he says, I will still fulfill my obligations against Frampton. Obligations, that's a curious term, curious choice of words. I will fulfill my obligations. Now, problem with that is that an obligation is something that you are committed to doing, but not necessarily something that you're wanting to do. You're committed to do it, but do you want to do it? Do you crave it? Do you lust after it? It's like having your favorite dessert in a restaurant. You wouldn't say you're obligated to eat it. You would probably say you are looking forward to eating it. So the term obligations, I will fulfill my obligations, is not very promising to me. It's kind of slightly disturbing. Yeah, it suggests to me potential. It has the potential suggestion. It's potentially suggesting that, I'll go through with it, but that might be my last. I'll go through with it. I'll do it. I said I'd do it, so I'm going to do it. But do I want to do it? Does Jamel want to do it? This term obligations, that's why this term obligations is a tad disturbing to me. It's something he has to do, but is it something he wants to do? The questions coming thick and fast. I don't know. What do? Do I go into this shiznix a little bit deeper? Over there on Twitter. Yeah, I covered that one. Already. Where's my likes? Do we take a little delve? Do we delve into this shiznix a little bit? Let's pull this up. Damn. Let's not make it so big. Let's look at the shorter version, smaller version. This is from the Unified Rules. If an intentional foul causes an injury, and the injury is severe enough to terminate the bout immediately, the boxer causing the injury shall lose by disqualification. Okay, so this is from the Unified Rules. Okay, so disqualification. Yeah, straight disqualification. Whereas the referee, Tony Weeks, did suggest that to the officiating bodies. But yet did they go to the cards, or did they say they were going to the cards? They said they were going to the cards. Did they eventually go to the cards, or did they just call it? Because there was no need to go to the cards if an intentional foul causes an injury and the injury is severe enough to terminate the bout immediately. Immediately. Okay, so you see, there's so many wrinkles in this damn thing. Okay, so let's read this again because now there's a different interpretation. Now I look at it again. If an intentional foul causes an injury and the injury is severe enough to terminate the bout immediately. So it didn't terminate the bout immediately. It terminated the bout 5 rounds later. So does this damn thing apply? You see, there's so many wrinkles. This shizzle is crazy, yo. This shizzle is crazy, yo. Anyway, let's press on with this. This video's a bit longer than I anticipated. Damn. The Rafi's got to make tracks, got to get up out of here. But I just wanted to drop this one off real smooth, like. Okay, if an intentional foul causes an injury and the bout is allowed to continue, this is the one. The referee shall notify the authorities and deduct 2 points. 2 points. 2 points. Tony Weeks made a mistake. He only deducted 1. He should have deducted 2 points from the boxer who caused the foul. Point deductions for intentional fouls will be mandatory. Point deductions for intentional fouls. So it should have been a 2-point mandatory point deduction. Damn. If an intentional foul causes an injury and the bout is allowed to continue, the injury results in the bout being stopped in any round after the 4th round. The injured boxer will win by technical decision if he is ahead on the scorecards, and the bout will result in a technical draw if the injured boxer is behind or even on the scorecards. Okay, so hold on a second. So this should have gone to the scorecards then. If an intentional foul, this is 3. We're showing receipts over here at Raphael Dawkins Combat Radio. We only deal with receipts for at least 50% of the time. There's an oxymoron in there. You get a Mars bar if you can guess what it was. Okay, I'm going to go through it again. If an intentional foul causes, and it was ruled intentional by the referee. So if an intentional foul causes an injury and the bout is allowed to continue and the injury results in the bout being stopped in any round after the 4th, the injured boxer will win by technical decision. So obviously they have to count up the cards, so it has to go to the cards. So it should have gone to the cards. People saying it shouldn't have gone to the cards. It should have gone to the cards. We're getting to the bottom of it now. This fight should have gone to the cards. I can't even remember if it went to the cards. I think they were going to go to the cards and they decided not to go to the cards. Okay, so in any round, if the bout is stopped in any round after the 4th round, the injured boxer will win by a technical decision if he is ahead on the scorecard. So he has to go to the scorecard so people can tally the scorecards. Win by a technical decision if he is ahead on the scorecards, and the bout will result in a technical draw if the injured boxer is behind or even. Okay, so he couldn't have lost. So going to the scorecards means that Jamel couldn't have lost. Jamel Herring couldn't have lost. He couldn't have lost, full stop. Because he was ahead on the scorecards, I believe. Even though Oquendo was coming back in the last couple of rounds. But he was ahead on the scorecard, so he couldn't have lost. And even if he was behind on the scorecards, then the worst that could have happened it would have been a draw. Okay. So I think we may have solved the riddle. It should have gone to the scorecards. It should have gone to the scorecards according to intentional fouls under the unified rules. But as Rick Gallagher say, not arguing if the headbutt by Oquendo was intentional, but if intentional, ref is to take 2 points away, as per the unified rules, not 1 point. Okay, yeah, so it needs to go to the scorecards from to tot it up, but it's not really a scorecard situation. Yeah, it's all muddled, it's garbled, it's jarbled. Can you see how much we had to get through last night, the rigmarole? Anyway, hopefully that's cleared things up a bit. It's the Raphael Dawkins, it's the Combat Radio, it's the like, it's the subscribe, it's the comments, it's the shares. And I am out.